Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this class. This is mathematics class, and today we'll be studying this topic, limits of functions. So I will show you how to evaluate limits of real value functions with some examples. For evaluating limits of a real value function, you're evaluating it as x goes to a particular number. Now, if you are going to plug in that number to the function in place of x, so you substitute the number in place of x, and if the result you got is a real number, then that will be the result of the limit. But if the answer gave you infinity or undefined expression, then that will not be the limit of the function. You need to use other methods to evaluate the limit. So let's look at how we can evaluate limits of some real value functions with some examples. So in this example, we have these questions on the board here. We want to evaluate limits of these functions, as they told us to evaluate the following. The first question, we are asked to evaluate limits as what? As x goes to minus 1 of third root of 7x raised to power 3 minus what? 1. So write the first question. So you are going to do what? Like I said earlier, if you are evaluating the limit, you plug in the points you are evaluating the limit at. You are evaluating the limit at what? Minus, as x goes to minus 1. So you plug in minus 1, you replace x for what? Minus 1. So this will be third root of, so 7, x now is what? We're evaluating at what? Minus 1. Now minus 1 raised to power what? 3. Because we're having x raised to power 3, then minus 1. This will be third root of minus 1 raised to power 3 is minus 1. Multiplying 7, that will give you minus 7. Then we'll have minus 1. This gives third root of minus 8, because minus 7 minus 1 is minus 8. Then third root of minus 8 is just that number you are going to multiply by itself 3 times to give you minus 8. So the answer is minus 2, because minus 2 times minus 2 times minus 2 give you minus 8. This gives us the answer to question A. So we'll consider the question B. So like I said, you plug in the point you are evaluating the limit at. So you replace x for what? Minus 2, evaluating the limit as x goes to minus 2. So this will be 3x. So we're having 3x squared. So we replace x with what? Minus 2. That's 3 multiplying minus 2 what? Squared. Then minus 2x. What is our x now? Minus 2. We are plugging the point. Then plus what? 2. So what we have done is that we have replaced x. Anywhere we see it with what? The limit point, minus 2. Put minus 2 here for x. Put minus 2 for x. So minus 2 raised to power 2 will give you what? Positive what? 4. Then positive 4 multiply 3 will give you what? 12. Then minus, we have minus 2 here. Minus 2 multiply minus 2 will give you what? Positive 4. Then plus, okay, let's put this bracket here. Plus what? 2. So this gives you what? Put 12 plus 4 plus 2 will give you what? This will give you 18, right? So this gives the answer to that. Question C. This is what we have. This is the question C we are solving. Okay? I've written it down. So we are evaluating the limit at what? 1. So we'll replace x with 1 anywhere we see it. So I have 2 into 1 squared minus 1. We are replacing x with 1 anywhere we see it, plus 1. Then we put x for what? 1 here. 1 raised to power 4 plus 1 raised to power 3 minus 2 multiplying 1 raised to power 2 plus 3. So this gives 1 raised to power 2 is 1. Multiply 2 is 2 minus 2 minus 1 plus 1. All divided by 1 raised to power 4 is 1 plus 1 raised to power 3 is 1. 1 raised to power 2 is 1. Multiply minus 2 you get plus what? 3. So let's look at the final answer. So we have 2 minus 1 will give you what? 1 plus 1 will give you 2. All divided by 1 plus 1 is what? 2 minus 2, 0 plus 3. So this gives you 2 divided by 3 as the answer. So look at question D is so as usual you plug in the points. So we're evaluating limit as what? As x goes to 0, right? So we will replace x with 0 anywhere we see x. So we have x here, we replace 0, that's 0 raised to power 3 minus 4 multiplying 0 raised to power 2 plus 3 times 0 minus 1. But this 0 raised to power 3 will give you what? 0 raised to power 3 will give you 0. 0 minus 4, you have minus 4. Then multiplying 0 raised to power 2 will give you 0. And 3 times 0 will give you 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. Then 0 minus 1 will give you minus 1. Then you have minus 4 multiplying minus 1 will give you positive 4 as the answer. So we have evaluated limits of some functions, and all of them with all the limits we evaluated, all of them gave us real numbers. So in our upcoming class, we'll be evaluating limits of some functions that if you plug in the point, you get 0 over 0. Some of them, if you plug the point, you may get infinity. So we'll see how we can solve such problem of limits. So we are going to see that in our upcoming class. Thank you so much for being part of this class. Bye.